I am very appalled that I have not seen any African American descent. I've seen a few, but not a lot, out protesting of what's right, what's wrong. It's just weird to me that they are staying away from all this that is going on. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's going on, but I just hope that you guys do realize when it was Black Lives Matters that a lot of Hispanic and even Caucasian people stood up with you guys to represent that we all belong here, that we all need to be respected, because everyone is a human. And weird to me how protests, I only seen like Caucasian people and Hispanic people, and just think that it's weird. Not sure why. But I really hope, America is always about government, it's always about hating a race. Like when they used to hate the Indians, when they used to hate all Chinese people because of coronavirus. Now it's the immigrants. Then when they used to hate Black Americans, black African Americans. But it never ends. It's gonna come a day again where the government's gonna say something about maybe African American people, and you guys will be attacked again because it happens all the time. Probably like every time like something happens, it's always a race being attacked. So what I'm trying to say is that we will stand behind the people that stand with us. But if you're right now looking at everything that's going on and not saying nothing, not speaking out, comparing yourself or saying that it's not the same, we will stand behind the people that stand with us. That's what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I don't think it's right. I guess you guys, or some of you guys, yes, are with us. But when at the end of the day, we are all humans and we all do need respect. And let's stop the hate.
Some Mexican immigrants are fuming after discovering that Black Americans cannot be deported. Why? Because for years, a dangerous assumption lingered beneath the surface that Black people, especially those who speak out, could be removed from America. But now the truth is out, and so it is a tension. Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
Hey, mi gente. If you see my face, it's just that I have the itis. My daughter just cooked a mean fucking steak, and I ran up the street chasing my pug who was chasing a kid on a fucking bike and almost got asked to buy a fucking car. Aries. Y'all let y'all, I'ma fuck up Aries. That's the one that's always eating edibles. And now she's running after people in the street. That one right there. That one's gonna be the death of me. But anyway, I digress. Not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the statement Homeland Security just made. And it has to do with those that fell under the Refugee and Parole Act. Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, right? And I hope you know that as soon as Trump came in, he revoked the status of 500,000 immigrants. I got a couple of points to make on that, but let me give you the timeline. 2022, the Biden administration allowed, I don't think it was 500,000 then, but allowed refugees to come in under that program, seeking legal status. Okay, that becomes important in a minute. And what does this administration do? The minute they come in here, they revoke it. I'm gonna get to my point, because between MAGA and Cubans for Trump, and by the way, this video, if I talk about Cubans, I'm talking about Cubans for Trump, Venezuelans for Trump. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Cubans in general. Had a couple people get offended the last time. You should know me by now. I got a hard on for Cubans for Trump, Venezuelans for Trump, not people in mi gente community. Anyway, With that being said, first thing this administration does, as soon as they come in, is they revoke that status, right? Now, that went to a court, and it was on stay, meaning that the Trump administration couldn't do anything. But it was heard by the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said they can deport the 500,000 people. So now leads me to my statement today. Homeland Security makes a statement today that says this: either deport yourself or we will deport you. You have to understand that those immigrants that are here legally are like low-hanging fruit. They're the easiest ones to get to by revoking their status. Okay? Now, here's where my disgust, right, and the hypocrisy of those that voted for him, Cubans and Venezuelans, this is where my disgust comes in for you as a human being. Because you now made it impossible for anyone seeking a better life for their family. You now made it impossible by voting for this piece of shit, right? To take away from people the same programs that you benefited from. Because if we talk about the Cuban Adjustment Act, yeah, we're talking about housing, we're talking about welfare, we're talking about food stamp, we're talking about school training, right? We're talking about all these things, right? And they love to tell you, I came to this motherfucking country to work hard. No, you came out to this motherfucking country with a handout, and you got it easy. And democratic policies is the one that kept you in this fucking country with your hand out. Now you turn around as hypocrites to your own people, and you destroy that opportunity for people seeking refuge in another country or seeking to build a better life for their country. And here's where MAGA comes into that same ye say statement, right? They love to tell us they should have done it fucking legally. Then what the fuck do you think the Refugee and Parole Act is, motherfucker? What the fuck do you think that is? And here it goes for all my Latinos, whether you voted for him or not. That's a prime example that they just simply don't want us here. Because even those under a program in which they were obtaining their legal citizenship is the first thing they fucking revoked. You can keep believing that shit if you want. But I digress. Against this video is against Cubans for Trump and Venezuelans for Trump. This is about you. This video is about you. I really don't believe that Nicaraguans and Haitians think like that. I know plenty of them, and I don't believe they think like that. It's just you two dumb motherfuckers right there. But I digress.
Anti-blackness and colorism exists in both Hispanic and Black community. In my last post, all I did was encourage unity amongst both communities, which in reality is one. And I have 50-50. A lot of people are instilling their pain and their trauma into what I said. What is wrong with unity? Division is what they want. The sad part is that a lot of the times we are divided amongst ourselves. Only through unity is that we will evolve and get stronger. But only few will understand that. Unfortunately, this world has convinced us that the color of our skin is equivalent to your worth, your intelligence, your value. And that's the message that I don't want our children to receive. Every child that I teach, I encourage them regardless of their color, their race. And I will say it again, despite the hate comments, we need to unite both communities. Black and Latino division is profitable if they divide two of the most influential communities and create hatred amongst us, then they profit. Some of our people from both communities are so brainwashed, our own people forget their roots. Forgetting your roots is a good thing because for them, if you forget where you came from, then you forget how powerful you are. When I dive into my presentation, Real Masters of STEM, I explain how the ancient Kemetic civilization has a lot of the STEM and technology that we use today, starting with the IFA and the binary code. Instead of dividing, we need to unite. We need to stop allowing people distract us from the truth, reduce the noise, learn more, and focus.
I've been seeing Black people say that it's not our fight with regards to Latinos and them getting deported and everything. And I disagree. I think that it is the same fight. Civil rights is the same fight regardless. I just think that we shouldn't go out there and protest because it's not a good strategy. We've done it so many times. I've personally done it many, many times. And the reason why it's not a good strategy for anyone who wants civil rights, for Black people to be the face of it, is because no one cares when we're the face of it. When black people are the face of something, people lose empathy really quickly. I'm sorry, but y'all do. Other groups of people do not care when we are the face of it. So when y'all are the face of it, when other communities are the face of the civil rights movement that we're having currently, something's going to get done. Things will get done. We fought for it for so long and we've done all the same things. And I think that us sitting out is a strategy that we haven't tried. And you see how much it's upsetting people. Everyone's getting upset because we're not acting like we have traditionally acted. I've been married for 20 years and I've read a lot of books about marriage. And one thing that they say is that if you're in a cycle with your partner and they keep doing the same thing, then you keep doing the same thing. They keep doing the same thing, then you keep doing the same thing. You keep having the same argument over and over. One person has to stop. One person has to stop the cycle. And black people, they kept doing things to us, treating us unfairly, then we kept marching. Treating us unfairly, we marched. Treating us unfairly, this time we broke the cycle.
What we're not going to do in 2025. What we're not going to do is pretend to be a part of a culture for content and then disappear when the culture is under attack. Culture isn't a costume. Stand up or sit down. Now, y'all know there's a content creator out here who has built his entire platform on speaking Spanish and going to Latino restaurants and getting praise for embracing the culture. People loved him. He got a lot of followers, sponsorships, and praise, and a whole lot of friendly invites. But this isn't an honorable Latino storyline. Okay? Now that Latino communities are being hit with ICE raids, families are being torn apart, and xenophobia is happening out loud, silence, not a word, not a peep. Culture is not a costume. It is not for your entertainment. It is not your money grab. Cosplaying a culture for your convenience and disappearing during a struggle, that's not support, that's exploitation. That's not representation, that's modern day colonizer energy. You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer, period. You benefit from the culture but stay silent during the pain? Boy, bye. If you love a culture, then show up when it counts. Otherwise, step aside. We're not going to applaud performance allies. It's 2025. Do better or get dragged with love. Let's be real. We should have all known when you said that the kids at school was calling you La Negra. We should have known then. I don't know why it didn't click to me then. When Kendrick Lamar said they not like us, he was talking about folks like you. Let me tell y'all what we're not.
I don't think the black Americans that are trying to sit this out until the Gestapo makes it to their front door really understand that now is the time. You don't want to fight the government once everyone else that they're trying to get away to get to you is gone. You don't want to wait until there's no Latinos in this bitch. You don't want to wait until there's no Arab people. You don't want to wait until there's no gay people or no smart people, because all the educated people with money are going to do a brain drain. It's already happening. You don't want to wait until it's just you and the indigenous people having to fight this government. You don't want to wait until then. That's not when you want to do the fighting. And what's crazy about their logic, right? Like, if everything goes in fruition like they think they want it to, when it is just niggas and indigenous people in this bitch being the victims of this shit, they're still gonna be like, well, you know, I don't give a fuck what's happening over there on them reservations, because they ain't do nothing for us. Like, niggas. At the very least, for self-preservation, you want the numbers. And what's wild is that the black community has suffered through so much of white supremacist conditioning that when it does boil down to it just being us versus the government, y'all are still gonna be like, well, I'm sitting this out. Because that light-skinned girl over there, she kind of look white any fucking way. Or I'm sitting this out because them black queer people over there, they don't do nothing for us. Y'all are gonna sit your way out into the gulags. On a humanity level, my ancestors do not allow me to ignore the strife. If your ancestors is not talking to you, that's fine. You know, not your church, not your ministry. But on the simple self-preservation level, you want the numbers. Like, y'all are not strategists. Y'all are just emotionally stunted because of what has happened to our community. That's all that this is. And like, you guys really don't have the time for that shit. Okay? Because once they figure this shit, they're figuring it out. The goal has always been to put us back in fucking chains. And if we got 37 different groups of people in between us and the chains, you would think you'd want to keep them 37 around. You would think you'd want to work. Like, sure, okay, there's racism in Latin America. Sure. There's also homophobia and transphobia in the black community. As a trans man, should I just sit it out while some fucking black dude who I know hates black women gets shot by the police? No, because I know the police will shoot my black ass too. Like, it's like, we had this conversation in 2020 and y'all didn't learn shit. Y'all don't be learning nothing from what is happening in recent history. That's why I don't want to tell y'all niggas to read books anymore. Because, like, y'all are not even learning what you were supposed to learn 5 years ago. This shit is wild. That whole I'm sitting this out is just Stockholm Syndrome with extra steps. Go to fucking therapy at the very least. Like, fam, it's not even just the fact that they feel like the government truly won't do anything to them. Because I think most, like, at least 90% of black people in this country understand that the government can and will do something to them. I think what it is, in addition to that, is that there are black people in this country that feel that they innately have the tools, knowledge, and capability to circumnavigate this fascist regime that's being built. And that's fucking insane. Let's just look at the reality of the situation here, okay? Where is the black Mecca, right? Where's that? Like, you know how Cubans have Miami? What city do black people have? Atlanta. Where do these motherfuckers decide to build one of the biggest cop cities, the biggest and first cop city? In the black Mecca known as Atlanta. Where are they trying to build the largest concentration camp, immigration holding facility in the country? Georgia. What is Gilly? It's an international program for Georgia cops to be sent over to Israel so that they can learn under the IDF so that they can bring back those tactics to Georgia to include our black Mecca. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, are y'all not seeing the triangulation against us? And you want to just allow for them to remove all of our buffer regions? Are you the fuck serious? Like, just... This shit don't make sense to me. As somebody who was like literally seeing this as a potential front, like these white people have been fantasizing about doing a civil war for literal decades. Like every other zombie apocalypse film they push out is just them trying to find a release for wanting to attack us. They're triangulating like a motherfucker, and y'all talking about, well, you know, you were racist to me that one time, so like, fuck you. It's like, okay, that's a way to do it. That is a path. Okay, fine. But if there is a tipping point, if we have more black people thinking like that, and less black people thinking like, we need as many people to fight this bitch as possible, and we'll bury the hatchet now to deal with the racism bullshit later. That's only going to exacerbate everything else. That's only going to exacerbate the brain drain for sure, right? Like it's only going to solidify the logic and concept when we have less and less to work with. When we actually do have to worry about, oh shit, well, they successfully made sure that the immigration numbers are at bare bones minimum. They've successfully made sure that the Latino numbers are either plateaued or declining. Now it's just us. All right. And I guarantee you the motherfuckers are going to turn around and be the homophobia, transphobia, and ableism in the black community will only increase. If they don't figure this shit out, it will only increase. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And it's like, all right, eventually, everyone's gonna try to protect themselves. I know for me, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. If y'all keep doing this bullshit, like, I have a little bit of faith in the black community, but if I were to just take y'all at face value, I know for a fact that as a trans black man, I am not safe around you niggas. I'm not safe in this country, period. But I'm really not safe in my own fucking community. So why the fuck would I stick around for this shit? Why am I sticking around for this? When I'm watching y'all give excuses that I know you're gonna give me when it's just us in this bitch. Fuck that. Suck my dick from the back, bro. It's in a suitcase. I'll pull it out for you immediately.
I don't support anybody who's not black saying the N-word. I will say that now. But I will also say that if you are more upset about those Latinos saying the N-word than you are with the fact that there are black and Latino Hispanic police officers in uniform defending the fucking system and oppressing us, then your priorities are a little fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think there's a conversation to be had about both. And I feel like if y'all are, I see a lot of people in our community very quick to call out the Latino and Hispanic community and other marginalized groups or whatever. But why do y'all never have that energy for the raccoons and the sellouts in our communities? Why don't y'all have this energy for black police officers that are out there defending the fucking system that's oppressing us? Like, two things can be true at the same time. Yes, anybody who's not black shouldn't be saying the N-word, period. I don't give a fuck who you grew up around. The problem is that a lot of them feel comfortable saying the N-word because other black people have made them feel comfortable saying the N-word. And because we aren't calling out people in our fucking community on giving these people the pass, now these people are comfortable. So that's something that we also need to acknowledge in our community, is the fact that we do let a lot of people slide with a lot of raccoon sellout shit. If I'm gonna be quite honest with you, just a couple months ago, I live in the hood. Just a couple months ago, there was a white boy on Facebook who's very popular in our community and kicks it with majority black people, I would say. He says the N-word. I called his ass out. I was one of the only people in my community to call his ass out. And guess what? The whole fucking black community attacked me, bro. Trying to fight and all types of shit for calling out this white boy for saying the N-word. Few weeks later, same shit happened. Palestinian had to call him out on saying the N-word. I understand that you've been around us, but you is not us. And guess who came to save his day? Guess who came to save the day? Hell of my own people sat there bullying me on fucking Facebook for me calling out non-black people for saying the N-word. So it's like, I don't want to hear shit. Y'all don't even, like, my mom's white, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, she has said the N-word, and I'm 100% positive because the black people that she's around has made her feel comfortable saying that shit. So now I have to deal with trying to correct her and get on her fucking ass about saying it. People don't want to acknowledge that though. Like, that shit is, like, I don't know. I'm getting tired of it. Shit goes both ways. Let's be real.
Florida will be the downfall of Latinos and Hispanics every time. Florida is what I will vote for Donald Trump. Florida is the home of I will vote for Donald Trump. That's where they live.
Let's be real, many immigrants from Latin America, especially those undocumented or recently naturalized, come to the US under constant fear of deportation. ICE raids, immigration court, it is part of a daily survivor. But somewhere along the way, some began projecting that for unto black Americans, thinking that outspoken, poor, or politically active black folks could somehow be dealt with the same way. The truth, black Americans cannot be deported. They are not guests, they are not immigrants. They are the descendants of the people who built this country for free. Especially those who have faced discrimination and felt left out of the American dream are frustrated. They see black Americans protesting, getting media attention, and demanding change. And they ask, how come they get to be loud while we have to keep quiet? But let's get something straight. What you are saying is not privilege, it is resistance. And that tension, that is not black people's fault. It is white supremacy playing minority against each other. The system is designed to divide. Black Americans are criminalized, Latinos immigrants are demonized, and when they fight each other instead of fighting the system, guess who wins? The people in power. The anger is real, but it is misdirected. Black people are not your enemy. And deportation is not justice. It is a colonial tool, and guess what? They used it on indigenous Mexicans before they used it on anyone else. Here is what many do not know. Black Americans are not guests in America. They are foundational. Their ancestors were enslaved, colonized, and brutalized on this land. There is nowhere else to send them. Black Americans cannot be deported, not because of privilege, but because they belong here and always have. The idea of deporting them is rooted in anti-blackness, not justice. Instead of fuming about Black America's ability to speak up, maybe the question should be, why are Latino voices being silenced, and how can both communities fight that together? Unity starts with truth. Black Americans are not the reason for Latino struggles. White supremacy is, and it wants you divided, distracted, and defeated. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.